Hello, teacher. My name is Angel Hernandez, and today I'm going to talk about dynamic verbs and stative verbs. These two types of verbs are really important because they help us understand different actions and states. What are stative verbs? Stative verbs are verbs that describe states or conditions rather than actions, such as know, belong, feel, or believe. They are used to describe situations that do not change or are permanent. Stative verbs can be divided into different groups based on their meaning. States of being. These describe a person or thing's existence or condition. For example, be, seem, or appear. Possession. These describe ownership or belonging. For example, have, own, or belong. Senses. These relate to our ability to perceive the world around us. For example, see, hear, smell, taste, or feel. And finally, thoughts and emotions. These describe mental states and feelings. For example, believe, think, know, or love. Examples: she seems tired. This book belongs to her. The flowers smell great. Or I believe in ghosts. Remember, for most stative verbs, the ing form is not used. These verbs describe states or conditions, not actions in progress. Therefore, forms like I'm knowing or she's believing are incorrect. What are dynamic verbs? Dynamic verbs are verbs that describe actions or processes rather than states or conditions, such as run, eat, sing, or jump. They are used to describe situations that involve change, movement, or activity. Dynamic verbs can be divided into different groups based on their meaning. First, actions. These describe activities or actions that can be performed. For example, run, eat, sing, or jump. Processes. These describe changes or developments that occur over time. For example, grow, develop, change, or learn. Movements. These describe physical movement or travel from one place to another. For example, go, come, move, or travel. Finally, mental or physical activities. These describe actions that involve thinking or doing something physically. For example, study, think, write, or speak. Unlike stative verbs, dynamic verbs can freely be used in continuous tenses to describe actions that are currently happening or process in progress. Examples: I run every morning, the company is growing quickly, they go to school by bus, or she studies every night. Differences between stative and dynamic verbs. Stative verbs describe states or conditions, are usually not used in continuous tenses. On the other hand, dynamic verbs describe actions or processes, can be used in continuous tenses. In this case, in the sentence you look tired, look is a stative verb because it describes a state of appearance, not an action in progress. It's a condition that doesn't change in the moment. I am looking at the screen. In this case, looking is a dynamic verb because it describes an action happening in the present. The verb is in the present continuous, indicating an action in progress. She has a brother. Here has a stative verb because it describes possession, a state that remains constant and doesn't involve an action happening. I am having a lunch right now. Having is a dynamic verb that describes an action in progress. It's used in the present continuous to indicate that the action of eating is happening at this moment. Finally, I think this is a good idea. Think is just a stative verb because it describes a thought, which is also a mental state. And I am thinking about the exam. Here, thinking is a dynamic verb because it describes a mental activity in progress. Something is happening now. Thank you.